Peace, peace. It's your girl Morgan Renee Myers checking in with you all. It's been a while. It's been a lot of transitions going on. I ain't had or made the time to do videos like this, but y'all know I'm all about growing food, saving your seeds, being more self-sustainable, not depending on the government or the grocery store to always feed you, staying ready so you ain't got to get ready. So with that being said, I have some plants here that I propagated that I want to show y'all how to replant. So propagating basically means, the wind don't really be great. Might have to put something sturdy or less. But propagating is taking plants, cutting them, putting them in water, and then they grow roots so that you can replant them to make a whole new plant. So me and my good brothers of Soul Society have been going to a community garden out in Reedsville, and I took some plants that I already had because we did a lot from seed, and then I had some plants that were already started at my home. And so I had a basil plant that I took out there. It was very small, even smaller than this piece right here. This is basil, Genovese sweet basil, I believe. Anyhow, I took this out there, and like I said, it was probably smaller than this. Probably was like this area right here big. And I put it in 2 different places, and that thing has been growing. This doesn't even amount to the size of what it looked like in that community garden. So I took some snippets from that, and I sat it in this vase or vase or glass cup of water. It's been, oh Lord, hold on, this wind is really winding. Goodness gracious. Hold on, y'all. All right, wind now. Let me be great. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my stuff in a better position so I can teach y'all like I need to. We ain't gonna let distractions get in our way. All right, let's see. Much better. Okay, hopefully it won't fall. Anyhow, back to what I was saying. So for those that just joining, propagating, you're taking snippets of plants that already were, you take a cutting of it, you put it in a glass of water, and you let it sit. So this was sitting for maybe 2-3 weeks. Some weeks I changed the water, some weeks I didn't. You'll have trial and error when you do stuff like this. Some might die off. A lot of the leaves have fallen off. This long part is actually the seeds. When they're ready, they'll turn brown, and then they'll have little bitty baby black basil seeds inside of them that you can save and replant for the next year. These are still green because they've been in the water. Had I let them sit out in the windowsill, which I've done with some other ones, I should have brought them out here to show y'all, but maybe another video or post. But basically they just get real dry and brittle, as you can kind of see these kind of are getting, and that's the seed pod. So anyway, but they have roots on the end. Can y'all see that? From sitting in this water for weeks at a time. So now they're ready to be put in a pot with some soil. So this is not a basil plant, this is a mint plant. But at that same community garden in Reedsville, there was some mint there, and so I propagated this. I took it, I cut it from where it was at, I sat it in water for a few weeks, and then it grew roots, and then I got some dirt, some potting soil, a flower pot, and I planted it, and I have left it outside, and it's been thriving. Now I'm still learning and still be trial and error with these plants, because I did the same thing with this one, same cutting, same process, and it ain't doing too hot, but it was thriving. It has been thriving, and now it's not. And I did another one that I just put straight into, maybe this is the one I put straight into the pot. I could be wrong. One of them I be doing experiments. So one I put straight into the pot, didn't put no water in it after I cut it, and one I let root and then transferred it. I can't remember which one this is, but baby girl ain't holding up. So without further ado, I'm basically just about to plant what I have. So I got some basil. Yesterday I bought some cilantro from the store, from Walmart, on my EBT card, because anything that is a food item, a herb or food, you can get on your food stamps. So I got this cilantro plant so that I could replant it and have my own cilantro, and as you cut it, it'll regrow. What else I have over here? I got some more mint from that same community garden, and it's been sitting in water for a few weeks, and as you can see, it's got these white roots that have been forming. And it's really, really cool, y'all. I'll be so amazed. I'll be like, God. And even some new pieces have grown, whole new pieces, but new roots that were not there. Yes, I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of these. So I might do 3. I've never let one sit inside in the pot of soil, so I might bring 1 or 2 in to see how that holds up inside, and leave the rest outside. And I don't know how they're gonna hold up over winter. That's why you gotta practice. You gotta practice. You gotta do some trial and error until you know, because you can Google and YouTube all day, but experience be the biggest teacher. I have some, this rosemary didn't really hold up. I'm gonna still try to plant it. I didn't see no roots really come out, and what I think might be roots might not be roots. I don't know if they just small branches that broke off when I cut them, but this is sage. Hey y'all. Hey Tyrissa. Hey Sherman. How y'all doing? This is sage. This too, did it get any roots? Barely. Yeah, so it got like little baby tiny roots that you could barely see. Nonetheless, I'm gonna plant them. And then while I'm here, my mama asked me to water her plants. I had bought her a planter head. There's this lady named Miss Mercedes. She's an elder in our community. She's from like Philly or New York or somewhere, and she's been living in Greensboro, North Carolina for some time now. And I met her doing events, you know, I curate events and stuff. And so she has like these planter heads that she make out of styrofoam. And no lie, some of them look like me. They had like little hair wraps and jewelry, and she paint the face and it'd be cute. And it got a hole in his head that you put plants in. So I bought my mother a planter head with this plant in it, and it has grown really too big for that head without it toppling over. So as I was watering her plants today, I realized this probably need to be repotted. It's very dry, the roots is all, so it need a bigger pot. So let's hop to it with no further ado. So what you want to do, once you got your clipping of your plant, or let's say you started these from seed. Let's say you started your plant from seed, and now it's time to take it out of the starter tray. Let me show you guys what a starter tray is. This is one example of one where you have a bunch of different holes, and this holds this, and you put pot and soil in it. And you want to always start your seeds off with pot and soil. Garden soil is a little bit different, and you want to put that in the ground. I don't know the big difference, to be honest. I haven't done that thorough of research, but it's a difference. And they say that you start seeds with pot and soil. So let's say you started your mint or your basil or your oregano from here. And now it needs to come out the pot, and you need to repot it. This is what you would do. So, Lord, be with me and don't let this wind take me out. So I be getting like the cheapest bag of pot and soil, just depending on my budget or what spirit tell me. Most of the time I get Miracle Grow. I don't have an issue with Miracle Grow. Other people might, based on their research or what have you, but I really be trying to be economical about this. But this is the bag I got this last time. What brand is this? Carolina Gold Organic. And so I have done, let me move this oregano and stuff. I have transferred or repotted or started seeds without watering the soil first, but I find it a little easier to manage if the soil is a little moist versus it being completely dry. You're supposed to water it after you plant your seed or plant your plant anyway, but I'm gonna just go ahead and just wet my soil a little bit. Now I don't have gardening gloves or a gardening like utensil to scoop it out, because I don't mind getting my hands dirty, but you might want that for yourself. So just wetting my soil. It's kind of hard to do sitting like this, but all right. So first you want to get some pots. Dollar Tree, reuse stuff in the house, bowls you ain't using. Nana probably got some pots she ain't using in the shed, in the garage somewhere. Find you a pot. You want to make sure it's a good size. So whatever you're about to put in, you want to make sure that it has room for it now. And then depending on how big the plant can grow, you might want to consider that. So you might want to have a pot that's bigger than what it is now, just so that as it grows, you don't have to keep repotting it, because some plants don't need to be repotted or transferred so many times or they won't survive it. So let's see what we got. We got some sage, we got some cilantro, we got some basil, and we got some mint plants. So I'm gonna put a mint plant in these. I'll probably put basil in one of these. This is a bigger one. I'll probably put the other basil in this. Now again, this is an experiment for me. I don't know how much of this is gonna hold up, because my basil plant that I already had died recently. I think maybe because the first frost hit. First frost is basically when the temperature goes below like 50 degrees and you get frost. And so my basil plant died, and so maybe that herb can't handle that, but I do believe that they can stay inside. This is something after I get off this video, I gotta go research about my herbs. Let me take a quick break and drink some of this smoothie. This got soursop, prickly pear that comes at the end of a cactus, watermelon, peaches, strawberries, and pineapple. Got a seed, you know I'm about to save it. A little watermelon seed. Alright, moving on. Let's hop to it. So this, I'm gonna put my cilantro in this. So I'm just taking, and you could use like another pot to help get the soil out if you're like me and don't have the garden tools and all of that. And you want to fill it up a good ways, not all the way to the tilt, because you need room to put your plant. So I filled it up. Then I'm gonna make a indention, a hole in the middle, you know, something simple. Make a little hole to be able to add my plant. I'm gonna put this whole plant in there. I'm not gonna try to separate it. I'll do that as it grows. So you want to loosen it up a little bit just before you put it in. Loosen the soil up so the roots can kind of breathe a little bit. It's been tightly packed. You could even shake it away if it's like really, really compact like this one is. I might want to really loosen it up. So that's what I'm doing here. Just loosening my soil, picking off these dead parts of the cilantro. And it's hella roots here. So, made my hole, inserting my plant, holding it up like, you know, it's a bushel of hair or something like that. And then I'm going to cover it with more dirt until what we call the neck of the plant is secure. Now this is going to slump over because it was already slumped over in the bag, but I'm going to water it and it should come back to life at some point in the day. And make sure I get all the hairs up. And there we have it. Simple, y'all. Really, really simple. And again, I got this from Walmart on my food stamps because it's an herb. It's food. So that's a great way to try. If you've never tried nothing like this and you're nervous about wasting money or whatever, we waste so much money. Those of us that use food stamps, we be buying all kind of bullshit we don't need. So waste your $2-3 little dollars on a plant and try it out and see how it go. Okay, moving on. That was cilantro. Let's repot some of, where did mint go? I'm really excited about mint. Where my mint go? Look at my basil. Oh, here it go. It smells so good. This is spearmint. Spearmint is my favorite type of mint. Peppermint, alright, but spearmint is where it's at. So I'm gonna put one in here. And if any of y'all got the chance while you watch it, if you could Google for me, ask Google if mint needs to stay inside or outside during the winter. Same thing with basil. Say, can mint or basil, does it have to be indoors or outdoors in the fall and winter? Because I don't want to waste all my damn plants that took me weeks to propagate. Took me weeks to propagate. If I could help it. I'm going to figure it out once I get off this live. But if y'all could tell me while I'm on it, that'd be helpful. Alright, so again. And I'm going to rinse all these off when I get done. So I filled it almost to the top. Making an indention. Making a hole to be able to put my plant. I'm I'm going to take this beautiful mint here. Look at how beautiful she is with her roots. Yes. Going to stick her down in there. And then going to add some more dirt around her. And you see she kind of standing up on her own. So each plant is, you know, a little different in stability. And this can get messy, yes. But be grateful that if you're watching, you most likely have water to go in and wash yourself. Alright, and then pat it down. Not too much. You ain't trying to like suffocate it, but just enough so that, you know, everything's compact. And bow. Now you got some mint. So we just replanted some cilantro. Now some spearmint. Now let me show you what not to do. So you see what size pot I chose for this. This is going to continue to grow. But what you don't want to do is get a plant like this that you propagate and then put it in something small like this, because this is technically for like starter plants. So if you put it in this, it's going to grow fast and abundantly, and then you're going to have to repot it again soon. So try not to go with something like this. Get something a little bigger. Let's see. I think I want to put 2 in here. I'm going to put 2 mints in there. And again, filling up our pot. Almost to the tip. I mean, it's pretty repetitive at this point. I could really stop with the tutorial, but my hands are dirty, so I'll wait. Make an indentation. This has a root on it. Stick it in there. Another one. Stick it in there. Y'all didn't really see that, but I just pressed it down in there. Hey, everybody watching. And then you get some more dirt and put it around and in between. And if you want, you could sit on like some type of, I don't know, plastic mat or garbage bag or something. If you don't want to waste, like, as you see me doing this, some of the soil is falling onto the grass and stuff. You really want to get your bang for your buck, especially if you're buying all your soil and stuff. So put something up under you so that you're not wasting your soil. That'd be a good idea. You can gather it. So there we go. 2 spearmints in here. And I'd be willing to part with some of these. I'd be willing to sell y'all some if you want some. Again, this is the spearmint plant that I propagated from the community garden, and it's been holding up for at least 3 months now. And these are ones that I recently got from the garden and had sitting in water for 3 weeks, and now I'm repotting them. So this is just a slight version. Mint can really get expensive. And the more you cut it, the more it come back. And what is mint good for? It's a relaxant. It's great for calming the nerves. You can dry it out. You could dehydrate it in a dehydrator, or you could just leave it on a paper towel. Excuse me, dirt and stuff keep flying in my eye. That's why I'm blinking like that. You could dry it out or leave it on a paper towel. Use it in teas. I'm sure you could probably make some type of oil out of it too, but I really just use it for teas. You can even add it to your bath. It just smells so good. And it's so relaxing. All right, so we got 2 mints. Put my done plants on top of here. I got a little plant stand right here, y'all, that I've got the phone propped up on. Oh, look, this is some lettuce that I had growing in my compost. So composting, for those that don't know, is basically it's reducing, reusing, recycling what you already have, and then getting some goodness back to using your garden. So saving your fruit and veggie scraps. Let me get it. I didn't want to get up, but let me get up. I'm going to bring it over here and show y'all real fast. 1 second. All right. So it's taking your fruit and veggie scraps and saving them, preserving them, letting them sit and then it will turn back into dirt, y'all. It will turn into soil you can use in your garden. So this is a great economical way. I'm pretty sure this is the way of the ancestors, especially us melanated beings. I know slavery did a number on us, and most people are not trying to do farming and agriculture today. It's just so strenuous. It's a lot of work working on a farm. Gardening is enough in itself, so farming is like another level. So I understand why that may not be people's first interest or desire. But on the flip side of that, we have always been agriculturalists prior to enslavement. It's a part of our history, and so composting is a simple way to kind of get back into that. Even if you're not into gardening, saving some compost and gifting it to a neighbor or a friend that is a gardener, or starting your own damn garden because you already made the compost, is a great idea. So again, you're just using fruit and veggie scraps. So when I'm making my smoothies, the skins of avocados, the peels of onions, I don't usually put citrus in it. I don't really put like orange peels or lemon or lime peels. Something about it taking forever to break down, whatever. And then some people say you can. But if I had bad spinach or kale or tomatoes, something that I let rot, they say you can also use eggshells, and you can also use like cardboard, newspaper. You kind of want to be cautious with the printed stuff or the stuff with color ink on it. You don't really want to put that in it. But anyways, basically what you do, this is a paint bucket from Lowe's, and so you want to drill some holes into the bottom of it. This doesn't have holes in it, because I just use it as like a sit it right outside my door just to throw stuff in and then transfer it to my bigger compost bin. But you want to put some holes in it to drain it, keep it outside somewhere. And to be honest, I really have not had an issue with the smell. I don't know if that's everybody's experience, but I haven't had too much issue with the smell of it. I know that's a big concern for people, and depending on where you stay, the animals that's in your neighborhood, I personally haven't run into those problems, and I've composted in 3 different homes, so I just personally didn't have an issue with animals all in and off and that. And I've had one that wasn't covered in a bucket. It was just straight on the ground, covered in leaves, no tarp or nothing. So I haven't experienced a bad smell with it. Anyways, so you fill it up. This is filled with a bunch of fruit and veggie scraps, which you're not going to see because I have it covered with a bunch of leaves. And that stuff get mushy. Now I can't think you get up close on it, your nose all in it. But you put, like I said, cardboard. I don't know the ratio. It's like 2 parts green to 1 part brown, carbon, nitrogen. I can't remember which is which. I got to do some research before I come on here talking to y'all. But anyways, you can use grass clippings and leaves. So it's fall. Leaves are falling off the trees. So I gather some leaves from the yard, and I put them on the very top of my fruit and veggie scraps that have been sitting in here. And then you want to moisten it. So just put a little bit of water in just to help break down some of the stuff, and then you just sit and let it be. Now if you're still using it, let's say your bucket ain't full, then obviously you're gonna keep putting stuff in it, but you could layer it. Let's say you threw some fruit and veggies from your salad and your smoothie this morning, layer it with some brown leaves, so you can have a separate pile of just your leaves and your grass clippings, and then you continue to add it every time you add in some fruit and veggies. Then let's say for lunch you had some sandwich, and like I don't put bread and pita chips and stuff like that, but I think any really food scraps, you don't want to put meat and bones in it, whether you're vegan or not. You just, because that smell will draw certain animals and potentially disease the compost. I heard, I don't know the logistics of it all, but you really just want to put your fruit and veggie scraps. So let's say for lunch you had a sandwich and this and that, or whatever, and then cover it with some more leaves and grass. Let's say for dinner you had something. So y'all get the picture. That's composting. So what I was saying before I went on that whole damn tangent, Lord, I love composting. So in my compost, I have another bin where sometimes at the end of the season, when my plants have died off or whatever, I'll save some of the soil, because soil can be amended. You don't always have to buy new bags of soil. It is great to start off with a fresh bag, yes, but if I already got all this soil from all this other stuff, especially if the stuff died early, like let's say all your seeds don't germinate when you plant them. So this whole thing is 70, well, this one ain't 72, total is 72, however many is on here, let's say 25 for the sake of the argument, and maybe only 10 germinated. Maybe I only got 10 little starter plants from this whole thing. So I'm gonna take the rest of this soil and I dump it into a bigger bin, which I'm not gonna, it's just a big old tub, And so I'll add like old stuff that have died. And then I'll mix that with maybe some new soil, or I'll mix it with some compost that I had sitting that had turned into soil. And that's how you amend the soil or make the soil better and usable. So in a bucket that I have old dirt in, I saw some lettuce sprouting up. So that's the beauty of compost. Sometimes I've thrown like an avocado that had went bad. I didn't take the seed out and save it, was being lazy, didn't care. Threw it in the compost. I go out there, I see something growing, and it's the sprout coming out the avocado. And I planted it, and it was growing so beautifully. Then first frost hit, and that baby died. So again, you gotta really study each plant. Each plant is like a baby. Just like y'all, when you have children, each child is different. Okay, you might love them all equally, but each one got their own personality and you know, rules and regulations to them. So yep, it was some lettuce coming up from my compost that I just scooped out. I made sure the roots was protected, and I repotted them and watering them and loving on them, and they gonna turn into something. They gonna be somebody. All right, what next? Let's do some sage. Let's repot some sage. Now I don't really want too big a pot for the sage. Seems like that's all I got left. Oh, there go some pots. All right, let's see. We could do some sage in here. Sage is very, can be very pungent. I don't particularly like sage. Not as a seasoning or garnish. I'm not real big on sage, but just because you're not big on it don't mean you shouldn't grow it. Other people like it and would use it. And depending on the type, it can be used for many different reasons. So, you know, the white sage is usually known for burning, which is a good cleanser, releasing negative energy from the space and stuff like that. It's all different types. I can't even remember all the types of sage, but it's various types. So again, we filling it almost to the top, making indentation. And again, if you have like one of those little shovel garden tools, same concept. I don't know, like I said, if these really got, okay, this one do got some roots. Very faint though, very faint. The sage is hitting different. So I'm gonna plant that there. And then, you know, before you add the new dirt, you could put the dirt around it that's already in there. And then just top it off. Top it off. And make sure you get all around it, in between. And there you have it. Now you got your sage. Gardening is so fun. Let's do it again. Alright, let's see. And keep it in mind, because I'm an entrepreneur and I'm going to be selling some of this. Sometimes I want to put them in something that's not too big, in case, you know, if somebody might want to keep it in their home. Oh, labeling. I haven't shown y'all that because I know what the plants are, but if you're a beginner, and even if you're not, maybe when people come over, you want the label on it. I tend to find, actually, I haven't really found a great way to label. I used to use these that I got from Dollar Tree, find them at Lowe's. They're like little planter labels. But I find that even when I write in Sharpie, if it rains outside and stuff, the name always come off. So tape and writing in the Sharpie. I have a label maker where I've done the same thing, printed out, taped it on there, and it still will fade over time. Sometimes they'll have like, not always this big. This is like a little wooden, same concept. But sometimes they have like little wooden popsicle sticks that you can write on. I don't know. Maybe if y'all know of a method to help keep stuff labeled that's weather resistant, let me know, because I be struggling. All right, I'm gonna fill this up. Let me water my soil. Get to the bottom. Make a hole. Add my sage, and then add some dirt on top. It's really that simple, y'all. And then at the end, I'm gonna water all of these at one time, just to give it, you know, its final clean the sides with my water hose. I think that was pretty much it. Oh, the basil. Let's do one of the basils, and then I'm gonna hop off, and then I'll probably hop back on and show y'all how I'm preserving my seeds. Phoenix said, I love it. I see a food forest behind you soon. Yes, food forest, speaking into existence. I might hop back on and show y'all. I have a bunch of seeds. I should just go get it now. Nah, maybe I should do 2 separate videos, because I'm gonna upload this on my YouTube. Yeah, I'll just do another video. But I do have like a whole seed tray. What did I have recently? Oh, there was a squash that we grew in the community garden. It's called early white bush scallop, or early scallop white bush. Some damn squash I ain't never had before, and it's white and flat and thick. And so I cut that up and boiled it and blended it with some leeks, and made a little soup, and it was tons of seeds in there. Like I said, in this smoothie that I got, I had some cactus, prickly pear, which grows at the end of a cactus plant, and it had a bunch of seeds in that. Had watermelon, had some seeds in that. Yeah, so I just been saving hella seeds. I had an orange the other day, had some seeds, saved that. And so I found that using like the little party tray from Dollar Tree, they got like 6 different holes in it, you know, for like your dips and chips and stuff. I use that as my seed saving tray now, but you can use whatever, okay? This is the one thing. A lot of us make excuses. I went to this health fair the other day at this college, and a lot of us be making excuses on why we can't do stuff, and when we got to cut that out. I ain't big on excuses. Make it work some way or another, okay? Because we find a way to do a lot of other things that ain't bringing us value. So you can sit it on a paper towel, you can sit it on a small bowl, you can sit it on the trays that your baking pans, you can sit it some damn where. All right, so I'm putting the basil down in there. I'm probably gonna cut these off. Like I said, these are seeds, but they not when they dry out is when you actually get the seeds. So they're not all the way dried out because they've been in water, staying hydrated for the last few weeks. But the other ones that I clipped off that I didn't put in water, they dry. They dry, they brown. So yeah, I'll do a separate video and I'll show y'all that as well. And I'll teach y'all about the hydroponics machine. I brought that outside to show you now, but that's an indoor thing anyway, so I'll do it indoors. All right, so that's my basil, baby. And I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna water all of these. Even though I wet the soil a little bit, I'm gonna just go through and water them. So today, thank you for watching. We took some propagated plants. Propagating means when you take a clipping of an already producing plant, you take a piece of it, you stick it in some water for some days or weeks at a time until you see the little white strands of roots coming in at the bottom, and then you can transfer it into a pot. So today we transferred some basil, some sweet basil. We transferred some sage. I'm not sure what brand this is because I got this from the community garden. I don't know what they planted. I'm assuming it's white, but I don't know. So we planted some sage. We potted some mint. And that was it. Oh, nope. Some cilantro that we got from Walmart on our food stamps. Yeah, this baby, she was already linked, so she'll be watered. She'll be all right. That's just happy. Sometimes when you transfer plants, they be a little sad, or they get transfer shock, which is why you don't want to keep replanting them. You want to find a good enough pot to keep them in. So yeah, I'm gonna go rinse the sides of these babies off, and I'll tune back in with you all with another video on after you save your seeds, how do you store them, and how do you utilize hydroponics. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Grow your own food. Like and share this video. Follow my YouTube, which is my name, Morgan Myers, MorganMyers. You see a red logo with the yellow inside of it, which stands for Mormy, which is my brand, which is my initials, Morgan Renee Myers, Moremy, Mormy. Thank y'all for tuning in. Look forward to doing some more videos for y'all. All right, peace. Have a great day.